Hey, what is up guys? My name is Oleg, this is Bond. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video I'm going to do a review of a legendary Rolex Submariner reference 5512. Let's get started. In more than one video I've mentioned that Rolex reference 5513 is my favorite Rolex Submariner reference. The reference we're reviewing today, the 5512, is a very close cousin of the reference and in some aspects a lot more rare and a lot more desirable than the 5513. So this reference, the 5512, originated in 1958 and ran for 20 years until 1978. The watch I'm reviewing today unfortunately does not belong to me, it belongs to one of my close friends. I actually borrowed a few different watches from him for the review, the Patek Philippe. If you remember that review, that watch belongs to him. He's a very big watch collector and all around a very nice guy. So he lent me this watch to take some quick shots off and kind of experience it in my hand and share those experiences with you. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. So first of all, his reference is from sometime mid 60s, is the 4-line Submariner, what's called. It has that writing on the dial where it says superlative chronometer. And of course, this is a no date Submariner. So the movement in this watch, and I was actually lucky enough for the owner of the watch to open up the case back and show us this beautiful movement, and I was able to get some macro shots of it. So the movement is 1570, a legendary movement and a very accurate movement. And you can see after all these years the movement is still running and still is keeping great time. So the watch has the classic Rolex Submariner proportions and dimensions. It has that 40mm diameter. It does have the crown guards and the screw down crown. It even has the drilled lug holes, which is very useful when you want to exchange the bracelets, and if you want to put it on a leather strap or something like that, that becomes very convenient. I wish more modern watches had drilled lug holes. One of the coolest features of this watch is the domed Hasselite crystal. I said it many times before and I'll say it again, domed crystals look fantastic on the Rolex Submariner case. Just look how beautiful it looks. The dome is amazing, and this watch of course had been homaged or copied by a few different companies, and some of my favorite Rolex Submariner homages have been of this reference. If you look at the Tissel submersible, I've said in the review of that watch that that was my favorite Rolex Submariner homage. Well, that's a copy or an homage of this specific reference. The other one that comes to mind is the Jeanneau Ocean Rover, kind of a divisive watch because it's quite expensive at $1,000. That's another homage of this reference, this and the 5513 kind of mashed together. So this watch has been copied, has been homaged in many ways because of that dome sapphire crystal, because of that beautiful bezel. So the bezel is actually bidirectional, and fun fact, bezel alone on this watch costs as much as how much I paid for my Rolex Datejust. That's how rare and desirable these watches really are. The dial stood the test of time admirably. You can see that the printing on the dial is still very crisp and very well defined. The hands stood the test of time admirably as well. It is a printed dial or a drawn on dial, so the indices are not applied, they're drawn on, and I really do like that. Again, I mentioned in the Tissel submersible video, which is the homage of this watch, that I really love that look. I love the printed dial look on the Rolex Submariner, and this one just looks fantastic with that H patina of the lume. Just really gorgeous watch to look at. The hands on the watch are the iconic Mercedes hands that are found on many different Rolex models, not just the Submariner, and I think it works well for this design, although I do prefer the sword style hands instead of the Mercedes hand, but that's just a personal preference of mine. It is really amazing how well this dial stood the test of time. There are no cracks, there are no damages on the dial whatsoever. It really is a testament to how well designed the Oyster case really is. It's fantastic at preventing any moisture, at preventing any outside elements from getting under that case and damaging the dial, damaging the movement, damaging the hands. These watches are not cheap, especially in a condition like this. So the only thing that the owner mentioned in the watch is not original. By the way, he owned the watch for almost 30 years now. So back in the day, these watches weren't as desirable as they are right now. But what he mentioned, the only thing that's kind of, to his knowledge, has been changed on the watch are the first couple of links on the bracelet, the ones that connect to the lugs. We don't know if necessarily the bracelet and the clasp is original to the watch, but it is true to the era. And that's pretty outstanding. Also, it does have a extension, a diver extension under the clasp, which was very surprising to me. A watch from 1960s having that feature was a cool thing to see. The watch looks fantastic on the wrist. Of course, it has the iconic Rolex Submariner dimensions. It fits flush to the wrist. It's just a pleasure to wear. So would I buy one of these watches? Probably not. After experiencing and holding it in my hand, first of all, it was a fantastic experience. But after that, I don't know, dropping $20,000, $30,000 for a model like this, it's a little bit too rich for my taste, even if I had the money. And also, it doesn't feel as solid, as well put together as a modern reference would, or even the homage watches that I talked about. Now, I'm not comparing the two, don't get me wrong. All of you Rolex lovers, stop typing hate comments. I'm just saying that wearing this watch, it's more for special occasions, it's more for having it in your watch box. And for my personal style, as of right now, at this stage of my life, I do like to wear all of my watches out and about, and I would be too afraid to wear this watch out. So I'd probably go for the more modern reference, maybe not the one with the super case. I really hate those thick lugs, but something with the sapphire crystal, something with proper water resistance that I know that I can beat up a little bit, put some of my own character onto it, and it's gonna stand the test of time. Nevertheless, this is one of the coolest watches I've reviewed on my channel. I'm really appreciative to my friend for letting me experience this watch, for letting me film it, and for letting me share it with you guys. I appreciate you watching this video until the end. Please leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what is your favorite Super Bowl ad. And if you're not from the United States or Canada, what is your favorite advertisement in general? I'm just waiting for my friends any minute now to come and knock on the door. We're gonna watch Super Bowl together, so that's why I have Super Bowl on my mind and I have Super Bowl ads on my mind. So leave those thoughts in the comment section below. I always enjoy reading your comments. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you had fun. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Oh, there's a secret link in the description. I forgot to mention that. Bye.
Okay, ready, set, go. Come here.